You've probably noticed something confusing about women. They say they want a good man, but their actions often show something completely different. You watch her ignore the nice guy who gives her everything and chase the one who barely gives her attention. You see her complain about how men don't treat her right, but when she finally meets someone who does, she loses interest. That's not random. That's selection. Female selection. See, attraction isn't a choice for women. It's an instinct. It's rooted in survival, in biology, in something far older than modern dating apps and love languages. Women are wired to respond to men who trigger specific emotional and psychological signals: strength, confidence, unpredictability, and self-assuredness. These are the traits that signal a man can lead, protect, and hold his own in a chaotic world. It's not about how much you love her. It's about how much she feels your value. This is where most men get it wrong. They try to earn love through effort, but attraction doesn't work that way. The more you chase, the more she senses weakness. The more you try to prove you're good enough, the more she questions why you're doing it. Because at her core, a woman isn't drawn to comfort. She's drawn to challenge. She wants to feel like she's chosen by a man she had to qualify for, not one who's begging for her approval. Understanding how women naturally select men isn't about manipulation. It's about awareness. It's about seeing through the social lies that tell you to be soft when what actually draws women in is quiet dominance. Once you understand this instinct, you stop trying to convince women to want you. You become the man women select instinctively, without even knowing why. 1. The subconscious filters. Women use instantly. Before a woman ever decides if she likes you, her subconscious has already made a judgment call. This process happens fast, within seconds, and it has little to do with what you say. It's how you make her feel without words. A woman's attraction system is ancient. It's scanning for cues of strength, security, and emotional certainty. You don't need to be rich or famous, but you do need to embody traits that signal you're a man who can handle life without needing her validation. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. When you approach a woman, her subconscious immediately begins filtering you through silent questions. Does he seem in control of himself? Would he break under pressure? Can I trust his energy? Does he seem like other men who chase me? Or is there something different about him? Your posture, your tone, your pacing, and even the space you take up all send signals. If you're relaxed, grounded, and composed, you project internal strength. If you're overly eager, apologetic, or trying too hard to impress, you trigger a completely different reaction. Her guard goes up. She might smile or engage politely, but inside she's already categorized you as safe but not attractive. You see, women are incredibly intuitive when it comes to masculine energy. They can sense when a man is acting versus being. That's why confidence isn't about pretending to be dominant. It's about feeling centered enough that you don't need her reaction to define your worth. It's that calm certainty that separates you from the crowd. Most men lose attraction before they even get a chance because they lead with need. They talk too much, laugh nervously, or try to prove their value instead of showing it through presence. When a woman feels that you're not seeking approval, that you're simply observing her, relaxed and in control, her filters start shifting. She becomes curious. She starts wondering what kind of man doesn't need her validation. This is the essence of natural selection in dating. A woman doesn't consciously decide to test you, pull away, or analyze your behavior. Her biology does it for her. It's how she protects herself from emotionally weak men. But when you carry yourself with quiet power, you bypass those defenses. She doesn't see you as another man chasing her. She sees you as the man she wants to be chosen by. 2. Why emotional tension triggers desire. One of the biggest misconceptions men have about attraction is that comfort creates desire. It doesn't, Tension does. Women don't fall for men who make them feel safe in the sense of predictable or easy to read. They fall for men who can create emotional tension, that magnetic pull where she's intrigued, slightly uncertain, but deeply drawn in. When a woman feels tension with you, it's not negative. It's energy. It's that spark that keeps her wondering what you'll do next, how much you really like her, and whether she can truly have you. That uncertainty, when handled correctly, triggers her instinct to pursue your attention and approval. It's the same instinct that makes her overthink your messages or replay a short conversation in her mind, because you left space for curiosity. But here's the catch. Most men destroy tension too soon. They overshare, overpursue, or overtext, trying to reassure her that they're interested. They think clarity equals confidence. It doesn't. It equals predictability, and predictability kills the chase. Women are emotionally intelligent by nature. They can read body language, tone, and micro-expressions faster than you can form a sentence. So when you're too available, too expressive, or too fast to validate her, she feels it, not as affection, but as pressure. The energy shifts from mystery to certainty. And once she's certain of your interest, the thrill of the unknown disappears. Now, tension doesn't mean playing games or pretending you don't care. It means you're comfortable holding emotional space. You don't rush to fill every silence or explain every thought. You allow her to wonder. You're engaged, but not desperate for connection. You respond with presence, but never with emotional dependency. That balance, showing genuine interest while still maintaining self-control, is where attraction grows. She feels the contrast. Your attention excites her, but your restraint keeps her guessing. That's the push-pull dynamic that triggers her natural desire to chase. A confident man understands that a little mystery is not manipulation. It's magnetism. It's how polarity works. Without it, you're just another man trying to please her. But with it, you become the man who activates her emotions on a deeper level. 3. The power of selective attention. If there's one skill that separates men, women chase from men women tolerate, it's this: selective attention. A woman doesn't just want your attention, she wants to earn it. That's how she measures your value. When you give your focus too easily, she assumes every other woman could have it just as fast. But when your attention feels intentional, rare, and grounded, it becomes a reward she respects. Women are wired to be selective, so they instinctively value men who are too. When she notices that you don't react to every flirt, every curve, or every piece of validation, bait she throws your way, something inside her switches. She starts paying attention to you. She wonders, why doesn't he respond like other men do? What makes him so centered? This is natural selection in human form. A woman wants to feel chosen, but not by a man who chooses everyone. She wants to feel that you saw her, not just her beauty, but her energy, her essence, her individuality. But that kind of attention only holds weight when it's coming from a man who doesn't hand it out freely. Most men go wrong here because they think attention equals attraction. They flood her with compliments, check in constantly, or act overly impressed. But what that communicates isn't admiration. It's availability. And availability, when given without earning, destroys value. Women may enjoy it temporarily, but they don't respect it long term. A man with selective attention operates differently. He doesn't chase validation. He observes behavior. He pays attention to who she is, not just how she looks. He notices effort, consistency, respect, the qualities that reveal character. When a woman realizes you're paying attention to those things instead of her physical appeal, she feels challenged, and that challenge makes her invest more of herself into the interaction. You see, Selective attention flips the dynamic. Instead of you trying to prove your worth to her, she begins to prove her worth to you. That shift is powerful. It activates her desire to stand out, to earn your energy. 4. Dominance without aggression. The balance women. Crave women are drawn to men who demonstrate dominance, but not in the way most guys think. Dominance doesn't mean being loud, aggressive, or controlling. It's about calm authority. The kind of presence that says, I know who I am, I know my value, and I don't need validation from anyone. That energy is magnetic because it signals stability, confidence, and competence, all traits that women instinctively associate with a man worth choosing. Think about it this way. Dominance is a signal of strength, but strength isn't always physical. Emotional and mental strength carry far more weight. A man who can stay composed under pressure, make decisions without hesitation, and handle life's challenges without drama communicates value naturally. Women pick up on this instantly, even if they can't explain why. Most men struggle here because they confuse dominance with forcefulness. They think being dominant means arguing more, trying to control her choices, or proving their authority. But that approach triggers resistance instead of attraction. Women feel manipulated rather than inspired, and their natural instinct is to distance themselves. True dominance is subtle. It's expressed through body language, tone, and decision-making, not through words alone. Another key element is calmness. Women are drawn to men who maintain a steady emotional state. The ability to navigate tension, respond rather than react, and stay centered makes you reliable and attractive. She senses that she can trust you, not because you've said the right things, but because you embody confidence in every interaction. Calmness amplifies your dominance. It's the quiet assurance that you are in control without needing to prove it. 5. How confidence outweighs looks and status. Here's a reality that many men resist. Women don't prioritize your looks or your job title nearly as much as they prioritize your confidence. You can be average looking, have a modest career, or not own a fancy car. But if you carry yourself with unwavering self-assurance, women will notice, respect, and pursue you. Confidence communicates one thing clearly. You value yourself, and your worth doesn't depend on external validation. Picture this. A man walks into a social setting. He isn't the tallest, the strongest, or the richest, but he moves with ease. He makes eye contact. He speaks calmly, listens intentionally, and doesn't seek approval. Women notice. They don't need him to shout his accomplishments or show off. His energy speaks louder than any material status. He signals that he can handle life, protect his interests, and maintain emotional stability. And that's far more attractive than looks alone. Confidence isn't about arrogance or overcompensation. It's not a performance or a mask you wear. It's the internal belief that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. That belief manifests in small ways. The way you respond to tension, the way you hold your body, the way you handle rejection. Women sense that authenticity. They know instantly when a man's self-worth comes from within versus when it's dependent on them. Many men overthink their appearance or obsess over status symbols to compensate for a lack of confidence. They try to impress women with money, cars, or looks, forgetting that these are secondary triggers. What women ultimately respond to is a man who can command presence without relying on superficial markers. That energy creates curiosity, respect, and attraction simultaneously. There's a situation every man has experienced. You meet a woman who's clearly beautiful, intelligent, and high value. She's engaging with the room, and every other man is nervous around her. But one man walks in calmly, confident in his own skin. She notices him immediately, not because of what he has or how he looks, but because of how he carries himself. His energy sets him apart. He stands out without trying. The takeaway is simple. Focus less on trying to impress and more on building genuine confidence. Work on self-reliance, emotional stability, and decisiveness. When your energy communicates that you know your worth and don't need approval, women feel drawn to it naturally. Confidence outweighs looks and status because it tells her, without words, that you're the man she wants to be with, not the one she has to fix or chase. 6. The subtle ways. Women test a man's strength. Women are constantly assessing a man's strength, but not in a loud or obvious way. These tests are subtle, a question, a comment, a small challenge, designed to see how you handle yourself under pressure. It's not about tricking you. It's about instinctively determining if you're the kind of man who can lead, protect, and maintain his composure. How you respond to these moments reveals your true character. One of the most common tests is emotional. She might make a provocative statement or express frustration to see how you react. Do you stay calm and confident? Or do you get defensive, anxious, or overly apologetic? Women feel secure around men who can navigate emotional tension without losing control. Reacting impulsively signals instability, while measured responses demonstrate strength and reliability. Another test comes in the form of boundaries. She may hint at wanting something you're not willing to give, like extra attention or approval, to see if you'll bend under pressure. A man who honors his own standards without guilt passes this test effortlessly. This isn't about being rigid or unkind. It's about showing that your value is not negotiable. When a man stands firm with respect and clarity, women instinctively recognize him as a leader. Even everyday interactions carry these subtle tests. She might ask for advice or challenge your opinion to gauge your confidence. She notices if you can hold your position without arrogance or intimidation. Strength isn't about proving dominance in every situation. It's about quietly maintaining composure, thinking clearly, and acting with integrity. Many men fail because they mistake testing for confrontation. They overreact or try to please, hoping to pass the test through effort or explanation. But real strength isn't performative. It's internal. A woman can sense authenticity instantly. The moment she realizes that your strength is natural, consistent, and balanced, her respect and attraction increase dramatically. 7. Becoming the man she naturally chooses. Here's the reality many men avoid. Women don't just pick a man because he's available or nice. They choose the man who embodies qualities they instinctively respect and desire. The man who can naturally hold his own, make decisions confidently, and maintain his energy without relying on their approval. Becoming that man isn't about manipulation, tricks, or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about upgrading yourself to meet the standards that women's instincts are wired to detect. First, self-respect is non-negotiable. A woman won't select a man who compromises his values or bends to please her constantly. Respect yourself first, your time, your energy, your standards, and she'll follow. This doesn't mean arrogance or selfishness. It means being intentional with how you live and interact. When she sees that you have boundaries and won't tolerate being devalued, her attraction deepens because she senses your strength. Second, cultivate confidence without ego. Confidence isn't about showing off or dominating every conversation. It's about being grounded in yourself. It's your ability to walk into a room and feel comfortable in your own skin, knowing that your worth isn't defined by her response. Women feel this energy immediately. They sense when a man is steady, assured, and comfortable in life, and that feeling triggers attraction more powerfully than looks or status ever could. Third, develop emotional intelligence. Women are drawn to men who can handle tension, uncertainty, and subtle challenges without falling apart. They're naturally curious about men who remain composed during testing situations, those who don't overreact, panic, or chase validation. Emotional strength signals that you can navigate life's pressures while remaining in control of yourself, which is far more attractive than being superficially charming. Finally, embrace mystery and challenge. Give her space to wonder about you. Don't reveal everything at once, and don't hand over your attention freely. Allow her to invest in discovering your energy, your priorities, and your perspective. The natural pull of curiosity, when combined with consistent self-respect and grounded confidence, makes you the man she instinctively wants to be with. Here's a truth that's uncomfortable for many men. Women don't choose you because you're nice, available, or eager to please. They choose the man who embodies strength, confidence, and emotional stability. The man whose energy signals value without needing to explain it. Natural selection in dating isn't a game or manipulation. It's instinct. Women are wired to respond to men who hold themselves with self-respect and purpose. Everything we've covered, subconscious filters, emotional tension, selective attention, calm dominance, confidence, subtle testing, and embodying value, points to the same principle. Attraction isn't something you earn through effort. It's something you activate by becoming a man who is inherently worthy of being chosen. Women are not impressed by gestures alone. They are compelled by energy, presence, and the consistent demonstration of self-assuredness. Here's a provocative thought. The moment you stop trying to impress women and start impressing yourself, you become irresistible. Attraction is a reflection of your internal state. If you're grounded, confident, and selective, women naturally notice and invest in you. They instinctively want to be with a man who is not desperate for their approval, but commands it through his energy. I want you to reflect. Which areas of your life show strength, and where are you giving it away? Share your experiences in the comments. I read and respond to everyone because your growth matters. The journey to becoming the man she naturally selects isn't instant, but it's worth it. Remember, women don't just want men. They want men who choose themselves first. When you master that, you don't chase attraction. It finds you.